In the last few years, the Brooklyn Nets have desperately tried to put together a squad that can challenge for the NBA championship. For one reason or another, they continue to get themselves caught up in controversy after controversy. But since Kyrie's suspension, they look like a completely different team. And the former Cleveland Cavaliers point guard is adamant that the Nets can't have any more excuses. Let's review what he's been saying. First things first, Kyrie Irving stresses that the Nets can't make any excuses. The Brooklyn Nets have been in fantastic form over the last few games, having won 8 out of the last 10 games that they've played. It looks like everything is now finally coming together for them, and we might actually get to see them mount a serious challenge in the NBA this year. With how things have been in Brooklyn over the last few years, we can't really bet on anything, but there's very little bad news coming out of Brooklyn. The Nets have had a disastrous last year, embroiled in numerous controversies. First, it was Kyrie's unavailability because of his vaccination status. Then it was the unrest between Kevin Durant and the Nets management. It got to a point where Durant even asked to leave if the general manager and the head coach aren't removed. However, Durant did end up staying on with the Nets somehow. Their latest game was against the Washington Wizards, where they overcame the Wizards comfortably with a score of 112-100. It was a pretty good all-around performance from the Nets with no loose ends. After the game, Kyrie spoke to the media and looked determined that the Nets could mount a real challenge in the league this season. The former Boston Celtics man said that the Nets no longer have any excuses not to do well. He stressed that the Nets will have to perform well or forget about being taken seriously. Next up, trouble for the Nets right from the offset. The Nets have had a lot of drama over in Brooklyn in the last few years, and the only thing they were praying for at the start of the new season was a time without any controversy. Brooklyn really had turned into the controversy center of the NBA, with how many things that they were dealing with. Everyone feared the worst when things started off in the same fashion this year. Right from the start, the Nets weren't looking convincing on or off the court. There was trouble inside the locker room, and their form on the court was even worse. They started the new season losing 5 out of their first 6 games. They were in a situation where the franchise would be able to find at least one thing to distract them from their ultimate goal, which was to obviously win basketball games. Things started off with the Nets firing head coach Steve Nash after their horrendous start to the new season. If that wasn't enough, they were being linked to Ime Udoka as a possible replacement for Nash. Ime Udoka's name obviously brought more controversy as the Boston Celtics currently suspend Udoka for allegedly having an affair with a female Celtics staff member. Moving on, Kyrie's suspension over allegations of anti-Semitism. To make matters worse for the Nets, their superstar point guard got embroiled in a bizarre controversy. The former Cleveland man posted a link on his Twitter to a film that apparently had anti-Semitic content. The film he posted about was based on a book widely accepted as anti-Semitic, and the director of the movie was also a denier of the Holocaust. Unsurprisingly, the tweet got Irving a lot of backlash from the media and the general public. Kyrie didn't help himself either after initially refusing to apologize for his tweet and failing to clarify his stance on anti-Semitism. Speaking to the media, Irving said that he cannot be anti-Semitic but refused to apologize or clarify himself further. His demeanor brought him even more backlash, causing the Brooklyn problems that could easily have been avoided, if you ask us. With anti-Semitism being such a sensitive issue, the Nets didn't have many options and ended up having to suspend Irving indefinitely. The Nets released a statement where they condemned Irving's antics and stressed that Irving should have clearly explained that he didn't hold anti-Semitic beliefs when he got the chance. Irving was suspended without pay and ordered to satisfy a number of conditions before he would be allowed to make a comeback. It was another episode where the Nets got caught up in something that was completely unnecessary and could have easily been avoided. Next, the Nets mount a much-needed recovery. Despite all the bad vibes at the start of the new season, the Nets have made an incredible recovery this season. After losing 5 of their first 6 games, the Nets currently sit 4th in the Eastern Conference with a decent enough record of 17-12, a record that might have seemed impossible when they were staring at the barrel of another horrible campaign in the NBA. Against all odds, they now look like serious candidates for a playoff position. With the form they're currently in, you wouldn't put it past them to make it deep into the playoffs. They have a pretty good squad, and if everything comes together for them, we wouldn't be surprised if they make it at least to the conference finals. It looks like the Nets themselves can also see their potential as they look determined not to take their foot off the pedal. With the win against Washington, they made it 4 wins on the bounce, which is a testament to their determination. They're playing fantastic basketball, where everyone is contributing towards the team's success. Even more than the basketball basketball they're playing, the most encouraging sign is that Brooklyn is now looking like a real team, full of talented individuals, rather than seeing just individual talent. Up next, what led to the change in fortunes for the Brooklyn Nets? Several things have led the Nets to rediscover their form and move up toward the higher end of the NBA standings. One of the most important things, in our opinion, is that the Nets are now focusing on doing the basics of the game. A common occurrence in teams with as much talent as the Brooklyn Nets is overdoing and overcomplicating things. New head coach Jacques Vaughn has made it clear that he won't be trying too many things and plans on making them into a team that does the basics well. He's going to make sure that the team tries to stay away from any controversies. Vaughn has backed his squad and given them the freedom to express themselves on the basketball court. One player that always excels in a situation where he's allowed to express himself is the former Golden State Warriors man Kevin Durant. He's been in phenomenal form for the Nets since Vaughn took over. He's currently one of the league's best players this season, where he's managed to score an average of 30 points per game. 30 points per game is no joke. Kyrie Irving has been doing pretty well in terms of numbers this season, averaging more than 25 points a game in the 20 games he's played so far. If these two can keep their form going, we genuinely think that the Nets can go deep into the NBA playoffs this season, but that's obviously a long way away. For now, we just want to enjoy the basketball they're playing. Continuing on, Irving shares a snapshot of what goes on in the Brooklyn squad. If you want to believe what Irving is saying, we reckon you should. It sounds like the Brooklyn squad is on a mission right now. They're on a mission to prove themselves to everyone else in the NBA. Irving spoke about the situation in detail after Monday's win against the Washington Wizards. He shared what the feeling is like inside the locker room. The one-time NBA champion shared that everyone in the squad is super motivated to do well. He shared that the Nets are now just focusing on playing basketball and not worrying about other things. He said that the attitude inside the squad is to just go out there and win basketball games. He said that the team now realizes the resources they have at their disposal and how well they can actually be on the court. He said that everyone knows our talent and what we can achieve if we play to our full potential. He mentioned that the Nets now need to focus on becoming a group. He stressed that no more excuses, distractions, or surprise injuries would be acceptable. He wants everyone to remain fit and give their best out on the basketball court. Brooklyn takes on the Toronto Raptors next Friday and will be looking to make it 5 wins in a row. With the form they're in, we reckon they would be favorites to do so. Moving on, Kyrie Irving is grateful for Brittney Griner's return. After the Nets win on Monday, Kyrie spoke of his delight at Brittney Griner's return from Russia. Russia finally released the WNBA star in a prisoner swap, which saw Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout being released by the U.S. authorities. He took to his Twitter account where he shared his joy at her return as he tweeted, "Welcome home, BG. Thank you for exemplifying what a true warrior spirit looks like. You're forever loved by so many unconditionally." Irving shared his thoughts after the win against Washington, saying he's grateful that Brittney is coming home. He said that he was happy for her family, who finally got to see her again. Irving stressed that humanity always comes first, and it's hard to see someone imprisoned wrongfully. He said that Brittney's return should be celebrated, but we shouldn't forget so many others who are unfairly in prison and haven't gotten justice. He stressed that we need to keep fighting for those people, and that's where we'll end our video today. Can the Brooklyn Nets actually mount a challenge for the NBA championship this season? What has been the secret behind their resurgence in the league? Don't forget to let us know in the comments section. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for all the latest news in town. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.